Yes, Barcelona fans, recent updates on transfer news, but I'm going to really talk a lot about something here. So on this Julian Alvarez, deal, it has been stolen. But sincerely, if you guys ask me, as a Barca fan, if you genuinely ask me, if Barcelona does not sign a striker this summer, I will not have too much problems. I will not have any problems. In fact, right now, you see, the reality is, if Julian Alvarez wants to come, right, let him say he wants to come. I understand that right now he's focused on the World Cup, but if he truly wants to come, maybe he will express it. But if he doesn't want to come, that's his choice. We don't force players to come into our team. This is FC Barcelona. We're too big of a club to be doing that. So basically, if you ask me, if Atletico is not willing to sell this guy, and okay, maybe Julian Alvarez does not mind staying at Barcelona, and obviously Barcelona don't eventually get some of their striker targets. For example, if you like the main Barcelona targets that Barca wants to sign, I don't even believe if we cannot sign Julian Alvarez, I don't think we can sign the other targets. For example, Barca wants to sign Joao Pedro. Barca cannot sign Joao Pedro because Joao Pedro is not for sale. Chelsea has said it that they don't want to sell their man. They don't want to sell the guy. Osimhen, on the other hand, Barcelona cannot afford Osimhen, right? Not only do we have to pay that guy's price tag, but the question we have to ask ourselves is, can we pay Osimhen's wages? Osimhen's wage demands are very high. Harry Kane, on the other hand, is also not for sale. In fact, I don't even want Harry Kane in my team for many reasons, right? He's not a player who you can rely on. I don't want players that, maybe the reason why we're bringing them to the team is because they score goals. No, scoring goals is not the only thing. Can you defend? Can you press? Can you track back? Kane maybe can track back, but pressing is not really there and he's not fast like that. So, and Uli Haunes has even said it, he's not for sale. Um, so basically, on the other hand, if you ask me, if Barcelona does not really get any top striker this summer, I'll not have too many issues with it, because the reality is very simple. We already have somebody like Anthony Gordon. Let us just stay with me. Let us think about it for a sec. Remember the time when PSG won the Champions League? Let's just take the initiative. PSG, when they won the Champions League, obviously the first half of the season, PSG were not really at their best. But what did PSG do? What did Luis Enrique do? Luis Enrique just made one crazy tactical change that made PSG started playing better. They started attacking even better. What did they do? They converted Dembele. Was normally naturally Dembele is a winger. Luis Enrique now converted him to a false nine. They converted him to a false nine to play as a false nine. And then what happened? PSG started scoring more goals. Dembele now started scoring more goals often. Now the reality is that, okay, yes, you say, oh, we don't have natural number nine. Who's going to do this thing? How are we going to consistently maybe score goals? The reality is, instead of asking yourself how much you are going to score goals, you have to ask yourself, what about the pressing of the team? Because also we need to be good defensively. What about the pressing? Because the reality is, if we can press more, we'll have more opportunities to score goals. We'll have way more opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net. And that was the case with PSG. PSG don't really have like a natural, they don't need a point nine. PSG does not need a point nine. There's no number nine in PSG right now. Dembele is not like a he's not like a like he's not a point nine like that. It's not really like, it's a false nine. So if PSG could do the same with Dembele, why can't we here at Barcelona? We can just convert Dembele. Sorry, I said Dembele. Anthony Gordon into a false nine, right? Convert Anthony, because Anthony Gordon in Newcastle, not only did he even play as a winger, he also played occasionally as a striker. And as a striker, he was not even bad. He used to score some goals. Now, what can Barcelona do? Obviously, Anthony Gordon does not need to play like the same role as Lewandowski, but obviously, he will play like maybe a false nine. He'll play as a false nine. He'll drop deep, receive the ball, then maybe in the midfield, then send the ball to Lamine Yamal as like he's making a shadow run, forcing players out of position. Send the balls to maybe Rafinha or Yamal, create something, build up more. I think Barcelona will play so much well as a team, if this is how we're going to be like structured. Obviously, we can still get a striker to obviously play the way we want them to play, what we want us to play. So the reality of what we have to ask ourselves is that, instead of saying, oh, we need this potent goal scorer, we need this thing, we need somebody who can really press, somebody who is good at pressing on the front foot, somebody who can also track back for the team. Because if we can press more and track back more defensively, Barcelona will be sound. So just Barcelona fans, just think about it. We have Rafinha in the attack. You now play Gordon as a false nine. and then put Yamal. Bro, the way like under 3 4 seconds, we have almost practically won that ball because both Rafinha and Gordon will press. Yamal too also presses a lot, and then they will still track back. They're still capable of tracking back. So what we can just do is that basically, of course, the more we press, the more chances we have of scoring goals. So obviously, do I still believe that Barcelona should still try and look for a striker, a top striker, by the way, that fits these profiles that I'm talking about? Yes. But if we don't end up signing it, I'm not going to panic too much because we still have Anthony Gordon. And most importantly, we need to press on the front foot, win balls back quickly, you know. And if we can do that, we'll have more opportunities to score goals. We'll have more opportunities. And besides, Gordon is not even that bad of a finisher. He has played as a striker before. So obviously we can kind of rely on him to score goals. And the more opportunities we create, the more chances we have of scoring.